Hey guys, welcome back to another Chan Man's Warhammer video. This week we are jumping the queue. Instead of opening my old kits, old unopened figures. Gonna open this guy first because he's really big, and by putting him on the shelf I will have a better idea how to arrange all the different figures afterwards. So for that reason, he's gonna jump the queue and get opened first. Again, another huge box. From what I've seen online, this is going to be a big boy, roughly going to be the same size as the Invictor Warsuits, but I'll have them all ready for size comparisons and give you that idea. Boxes, same box. Again, pretty big. You know what? Let's just measure, show you guys just what we're dealing with here. So 13.5 inches wide. I imagine it'll be 13.5 inches, just under 13.5 tall, and 7.5 deep. So that's how big it is. It's like a basically the size of a floor tile, almost. All right, let's get the plastic wrap off and get them open. Okay, got the plastic wrap off with the knife, and I'm gonna do community service, guys. Please always be careful. Never get careless. My wife got careless. She was standing there like cutting open boxes, and then she slipped her toe wide open. So yeah, always be careful. She had a brain fart, got careless, and ending up slashing her big toe open, about 2-inch long gash from the X-Acto knife. So please always be careful. All right. Yeah, big guys tend to come in this nice black foam. I'm going to tilt it upside down. It's just easier for me to get it out of the box that way. Okay, that's it. The box is empty. These are also much sturdier boxes. Well, this is the back. I'm going to pull the camera back a little. And there it is. Whew. Still a pack. Oh, everything is, I guess, a 2-piece assembly. Wow. Let's get the toes. Wow. Quality control, Joy Toy, quality control. Look at the difference, eh? Look at these. Listen to these. And then this. Disappointment. These legs are bent. Uh-oh. Why doesn't this thing want to move? Right here. Conflict right there. That's why it doesn't want to move. There we go. Don't have time to figure that out right now. Got this grenade launcher, rocket launcher, pretty cool. That's it for the box and the foam. Okay, I'm going to need to spend a few minutes with this off the camera because it's hard to get the proper grip while trying to keep it on camera. So I'll be right back. All right, here we are. I spent a couple minutes of just trying to figure out how to articulate the legs so that it would stand upright. And for now, this is the best I can do. Not a very good pose, but he's standing upright on its own accord. And before I get into closer look, let's start with this rocket pod is really cool, actually. Red camera lens, nicely weathered, so you can see the shading. I don't see much. Well, I see some edge highlights here, but not much at all, if any, for the rest there. And this just pops in at the top, so just gonna pop in there. And while we're here, we do have nice shading on the edges here. No edge highlights, that's noticeable, unlike some of the other figures, and unlike the Invictor Warsuit, where there are clearly nice edge highlights. So I guess that just means I get to do stuff with it and have some fun doing edge highlights, which I've never done on any of my other Joy Toy figures. I've just done shading, and I've gone in with the silver paint and highlighted and then shaded some of these nubs here. While I'm looking, I see a flaw right there. Let's see if it comes across. That's cracked wide open right there. Let me put it back, see if I can zoom in. There it is. You can see right there. It's cracked and split wide open. And this side is fine. But right there, you guys can see it's cracked wide open. I do have some issues with this guy now because of it's brand new. It is I bought it from a local seller, not their fault, right? They didn't build it. But Joy Toy is definitely showing literal cracks in their product. As we showed you earlier, right at the beginning. Like, what the hell is this? It should be snappy and tight, because that's what is needed for support. With this does absolutely nothing. The figure will fall right over. This side is not much better, but it is, at least it clicks. Nothing like this. So far, two noticeable flaws. Earlier, like I was saying, I couldn't bring the leg down because this was crashing into that, and I didn't force it. Good thing I didn't force it. I would have broke something, I'm sure. So let's get into it a little bit further. Okay. All right. Aesthetics. The looks great. It looks very accurate. Looks when I'm looking in comparison to the miniatures, looks very good. Again, I do like the shading. How are these working? These are working great. Okay, no conflict here. Not loose. Excellent. To have storm bolters, I guess. There. This opens. That's, I guess, his brother Tylius. This does open. And no. Tomen Diedrichus. So the sarcophagus inside. I might go into there with black paint or maybe something light blue, give it a bit of a glow maybe. But this is the sarcophagus. It's in there. It's good, unlike my Grey Wolves, where the thing just wasn't even glued in, it just popped right out. So that's a good sign. These two joints are nice and tight. Excellent there. While it's not as heavy as the Invictor Warsuit or my Leviathan Dreadnought, it is heavy, so I'm actually resting my arm on the table right now. Okay. Just bring it backwards a little bit. Okay, this hand here, there's no rotation in the wrist at all. You can't rotate the fingers either, so they're locked in. So these are actually locked into a groove. So there are actually grooves in there, so these fingers will not rotate whatsoever. They do just open and close, and there are 2 points of articulation at each knuckle. Sorry, just gonna show that we do have a knuckle articulation. Okay, the minigun here, the assault cannon, I guess it's called, does not rotate. It's again also locked in place, and that's probably simply because this is just a reissue of the original Dreadnought. So they just the design of it just wasn't meant to have that articulation there. I could probably just pull this off. Let's see here. Yeah, it just pops up just like the Invictor Warsuit. It's the same joint. And here they do have the edge highlights. I will be going in on these with silver paint just to make these. I'm gonna call them bolts. Pop out, stand out more. Probably some of these ones as well as these ones down here as well, as they're just not very clear or sharp. You have an articulation here. It swivels. You have your articulation at the elbow joint that goes up just under 90 degrees. Now, I really had hoped that these hands can be rotated around. I had hoped to perhaps even swap the hands with the other Dreadnoughts in the future, so that, you know, not everyone has a right-handed or right-armed gun and a left-hand claw or manipulator, but it looks like that won't be possible, as you can't put this on the other side and you can't flip it over to the right side and expect it to do the same thing. So too bad there, no go on that part. It's going to leave the arm detached actually. Going to detach this arm. There we go. Took a little bit of force, but it's done. And then nicely colored, nicely weathered. These pop nicely, nice and silver, but the same work will need to be done on the inside of these arms. This plasma, heavy assault plasma cannon is very nice and unique, nice and painted here. It had a different metallic and glowing sheen here as opposed to the one on the Sentinel Walker. This looks great. Probably put a red paint there to give it the red lens that their weapons should have. Oh, excellent. This is just simply detachable. What I've seen some other collectors do is just swap these arms out with the other Dreadnoughts just to mix things up a little bit, which is pretty cool. Okay. And it just pops in and out quite easily. Alright, back to the meat bot. Oh, this helps with the weight significantly. And we see here the detail on the legs, nicely painted and colored. And you have your slight articulation here. It does rotate, but limited as you start making contact with both the right and the left legs. You have one articulation here, one in the knees, and then at the ankle as well. So that's pretty solid. The ankle rotates, swivels up and down, but it does not, the joint at the top does not pivot. The pivot is at the bottom where you have a ball joint. Oh, does it pivot? It should pivot. Oh my goodness, I don't think it does. Does not look like it pivots. It should pivot. Just gonna take this off camera for a moment. Okay, it does pivot. It's a nice and tight joint. Like, I could use a bit of effort, but it does click in, which is excellent. Nice tight joint for support is vital. The legs do spread open slightly, and these pistons will move with it, which is very nice. The back is painted very well, and again, it does have nice weathering. This guy really just lacks the edge highlights. Okay, let's put him back together. I don't know if I'm going to stand him upright or put him in a more stable, wider stance for height comparison. But yeah, like see this toe? It just can't do any support. And these front to back is also not strong enough for the weight. So I'll need to figure something else out. All right, be right back. Okay, there are all the dreadnoughts. This boy is huge. He clearly dwarfs the Contemptor. No, this is not a Contemptor. I can't think of what dreadnought this is. Clearly dwarfs this version of the dreadnought. I think that's a Contemptor dreadnought, that's why. Redemptor Dreadnought, Leviathan Dreadnought. Can't remember this, honestly. But yeah, it's like half, just up to the chest there. And then beside the Invictor Warsuit and the Leviathan Dreadnought, wider than the Leviathan Dreadnought. And if you remove the grenade launcher, same height. All three of these, their shoulders are the same height. The legs are not exactly the same. The arms and shoulders, I guess the shoulder and the upper bicep area are the same arms for these two. The lower arms, I could probably swap these two out, maybe. But that right claw clearly cannot be swapped out. Legs are different on both of them. I have them all three in a wider legged stance for balance. And then still taller than the Contemptor Dreadnought. So, alright, let's... I was saying you can pull... Yeah, I think you can... Pretty sure you can swap the arms out with these two. Yep. Same round pegs. Fits. This is a shorter peg. Oh, actually no, they're the same peg. So that is doable. If you want to mix and match. Squeaking. What about this one? No go. No joy. This is a completely different size. So, cannot swap with that. And I think that is going to be too big. So, with your Invictor Warsuit and your Redemptor Dreadnought, they are swappable parts. Which, you know, is pretty cool. I'm not going to dig out the Nemesis Dreadnought. The Nemesis Dreadnought is going to be obviously much taller, but the main reason is the Nemesis Dreadnought is just in a position that's hard for me to get out of the shelf, and that thing just weighs so much. I don't have the room here. So, but maybe with the display next to it, you can see the size, but it's also elevated on my shelf, so. All right, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I'm going to explore the two front toes, see if there's any work that I can do to strengthen it or tighten it. Maybe it's just not glued together tight enough. But yeah, I'm gonna have to spend some more time with it. As always, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts, please drop them in the comments sections below. I do read all the comments that I get, but that's just because I don't get a whole lot. And then if you're enjoying the content, please share, give it a like, and please give my channel a subscription so that you can help my channel grow. And then also, if you have anything you want to see, I do want to try to get many more figures, but I don't think I'll be able to collect them all financially. They're just super expensive. I'm a non-professional YouTuber. I don't make any money from YouTube at all. And so that's why this is all just my own spending money, and I can only purchase what I can afford. So yeah, but if you want to, again, if it's something that we both want to see, please drop a comment, and if it's something I plan to get in the future, I will make every effort to do so. All right, thanks again for your time. See you in the next video.